All right, Jim, well, let's go to the ratings this week for another banger of an episode of AEW Dynamite. AEW Dynamite on TBS, Wednesday, April 30th, 2025, 8 to 10:05 p.m. On average, watched by 629,000 viewers.
So they're back up from their miserable 521 last week to the miserable 620 something they've been doing for the past few months.
Progress, I guess is what we would call that. Dynamite was number 5 for the night in the key demo on cable behind the NBA, the NHL, and Jesse Waters on Fox News. But the positives, 21% up from last week at 521, and 5% on the trailing 4-week average of 600,000 viewers.
Good Lord.
Let's go to the quarterly hours. These were compiled by WrestleNomics. Quarter 1, 8 to 8:15 p.m. Kenny Omega, Kevin Knight, Mark Briscoe, and Speedball Mike Bailey versus the Elite and Ricochet with picture-in-picture, 727,000 viewers.
That's, again, they've killed the Big Bang Theory. That's a lot less than they used to start with, but I think is it bigger than last week? Last week's was exceptionally bad across. So
that's right.
So they've got a ways to go here to fall for their average.
We go to quarter 2, the continuation of that big superstar 8-man tag match with picture-in-picture, 604,000 viewers.
Jesus Christ, 123,000 people in the middle of that thing. It wasn't like there was a natural spot where you said, okay, well, one thing's finished. Yeah, I can believe it.
We go to quarter 3, 8:30 to 8:45 p.m. The finale of the 8-man tag match, the Hurt Syndicate backstage, an ad break, and the Ops versus Miles Hawkins, Nick Camarado, and Rhett Titus, and the post-match with the Death Riders, 625,000 viewers.
They got 21,000 back of the 123,000 that they ran off.
We go now to quarter 4, 8:45 to 9 p.m. The Samoa Joe Live promo, Mercedes Moné backstage. Oh, it's an interview. It's a backstage interview, excuse me. An ad break, the Patriarchy's backstage angle, and the start of Toni Storm versus Miyu Yamishita. Or is it like Takeshita? Well, either way,
I don't know.
616,000 viewers.
So they're back down another 9,000, but they almost got to come up somewhere to make their average, don't they?
You would think. We go to the big 9 o'clock hour, 9 to 9:15 p.m. The continuation of Yamashita versus Storm with picture-in-picture. The post-match with Mercedes Moné and Jamie Hayter. The Don Callis family backstage promo. And MVP's live promo, 639,000 viewers.
So the top of the hour, even with, what was her name? Gladys Kravitz against Toni Storm, they got 23,000 people back. I guess at this level, that's something.
We go now to quarter 6, 9:15 to 9:30 p.m. The Hurt Syndicate MJF live angle, a recap, and the start of Nick Wayne versus Jay Lethal through an ad break. 670,000 viewers.
Oh.
Also the biggest jump in the key demo for this segment. Went from 211 to 229, not counting the overrun. That was the biggest jump in the show.
And the Hurt Syndicate and MJF.
That's right.
People are actually interested in what's going to go on. They see them, they're simple people. They see them, they click.
Well, we go now to quarters.
And by the way, when is the last time that quarter 6 on this program was within 60,000 viewers of the starting point? Almost never. They're finding the Hurt Syndicate wherever they put them.
We go now to quarter 7, 9:30 to 9:45 p.m. The continuation of Nick Wayne versus Jay Lethal, the post-match with the Patriarchy, and the start of Adam Page versus Kyle Fletcher with picture-in-picture. 581,000 viewers.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Now we come back to reality. That's 89,000 people. So, all right, it's over with, and here comes the kids. So,
well, we now have quarter 8. I remind you we have a 5-minute overrun. 9:45 to 10 p.m. The continuation of Page versus Fletcher with picture-in-picture. 565,000 viewers. 5-minute overrun. Continuation of the match and the post-match. 634,000.
oof. Now, wait a minute. What? I wonder what
was on
what
after.
was the difference?
That's what
Well, I know what was on after because I recorded it. It was a rerun of Modern Family. It wasn't like the hockey game that they had to end on time for last week or whenever. But Modern Family reruns have not been. The overrun has been losing instead of gaining. So that's odd. But it couldn't have been this match because it was only 2 minutes. But many people wouldn't have had time to suddenly hear what was going on and get there before it was over. So that's an aberration. But 727 to 565. So that would be they lost 162,000 people, which for them is not unusual. So this was kind of an ordinary show.
Well, there it is, another Dynamite, a lack of star power, and after that, Jim, some are ready for a good night's sleep.
A good nap. A good nap at least. Sleep it off. It's like a horrible hangover when you watch this show. You want to sleep it off. And Brian, I can't believe my eyes here. I can't believe what I'm seeing. You know, Memorial Day is coming up. That's when you go out to the cemetery, dig up some of your friends and relatives, and have a beer with them. And on Memorial Day, they have a lot of sales, right? Well, apparently, our friends at Helix Sleep are having a Memorial Day sale, and because they like the listeners of the Jim Cornette Experience, you're getting early access to it. Not you, Brian, as in the singular you, but you out there in the cult of Cornette as in the royal group you. And if you've ever had a royal group you know that those can be fun. 27% off site-wide and a free bedding bundle, which is a sheet set and a mattress protector with any Luxe mattress order or Elite mattress order between May 1st and May the 11th. Just for our folk. Can you believe that? 27% and a free bedding bundle.
I can believe it. Helix are good people. They've been with us a long time. We both have Helix mattresses in our house. In fact, I probably have to get another one soon. We have a request from one of the little ones here for a new bed. We'll probably go to Helix.
Are those kids wanting new beds again?
Please, please don't start picking on the kids again.
You built those bunk beds for them. With that not only do they have a place to sleep, but you can press that button and they just stack up one on top of another so the little kids can't get out and wander around at night.
Let's not invent things that aren't there. Let's talk about things that are there, like good mattresses that are customized for you. You fill out the sleep survey. Tell them about it, Jim.
Well, that's because we talk about things that have not been invented yet because we want them to be invented. That's how you make progress. That's how Helix has come up with all of these incredible mattresses that they have and that they feature on their website. If you sleep hot, you want to be cooled down, or vice versa. If you like a firm mattress or a soft mattress, if you suffer from snoring or back pain, sleep apnea, whatever the case, you know, some of these people, they lose they stop breathing is what they're doing, that have the sleep apnea. They stop breathing multiple times overnight. And that can be related not only to your position, but also to what you're sleeping on. They found that they did a scientific survey, Brian, and most people who sleep out on the ground without a mattress snore and have sleep apnea.
Who did this? Who did this survey?
They did a survey of people, homeless people sleeping out in the park.
Who did? Who did the survey?
The cops.
The cops?
They'd go up to the homeless people and they'd kick them in the ribs and they'd say, "Hey, you asleep?" Every single time they said no.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's focus on indoors, inside.
Well, that's why you need a mattress. If you can actually take your Helix mattress out in the backyard, you can do that if it's a free country. As a matter of fact, take it in your neighbor's backyard because he won't mind.
Stay on your property.
Every once in a while, he borrows some sugar from you. Take your mattress out in his backyard and have a camp out.
Stay indoors, inside, on your property, in your house, with a fine night's sleep. A night's sleep, not a finite sleep, a fine night sleep with Helix.
Well, it can be finite. Sooner or later, it's going to be over. They did another survey. 96% of the people 96% of the people that sleep on Helix sleep mattresses wake up the next morning. That is a statistic. You can't argue with science.
I can argue with wherever you derive this from, which I think is nowhere.
Over at the old folks' home. All the people from 94 to 98 years old, when they're sleeping on a Helix mattress, 96% of them wake up the next morning, and you will too, folks. Chances are.
Was this survey also conducted by the cops?
Well, when there was an old person that was trying to sell their pain medication, and they frown on that, so they did an undercover bust. Yeah, they got Granny Fanny too. That's what the junkies called her, Granny Fanny. But anyway, folks, and as a matter of fact, they have some Helix mattresses over there that are being sold as now that they've been used as evidence in crime. Crime trial.
No crime. There's no crime trial.
You can go to helixsleep.com and find new ones that haven't been
brand new
involved in drug busts at old folks' homes.
All mattresses are brand new just for you. That's the Helix promise.
Well, they make them for anybody, but they'll sell them to you, but they didn't make it custom for you. Don't try to false advertise. But you're going to feel like they did because it's going to be the best one you ever had. And you're going to get a hell of a deal on it because did we mention for Memorial Day, 27% off site-wide and a free bedding bundle with any Luxe or Elite mattress order. All you got to do, go to helixsleep.com/JCE for early access to the Memorial Day festivities. And that's what's going to happen there. And so, again, it's Mother's Day is coming up. Father's Day is coming up. Maybe mom and pop want to share a mattress. And then, that happened. It happened at least once if they're your mother and father. And if you're twins, I don't know how many times that takes. But if you want mom to get drilled for Mother's Day or dad to get laid for Father's Day.
Ladies and gentlemen, Helix Sleep, a fine mattress for the entire family, no matter who you are.
Well, you don't want the kids in the room at the time.
Let's talk about the time to make a mattress decision and the time to not add any more details that you have created. Helix Sleep, Jim, tell them.
The time is now. helixsleep.com/JCE. 27% off and free bedding bundle, and all the details are there. Just go there now.
Please go there. They're our friends. They're good people. Helix Sleep!